This is a little bit about what this is all about, the next gen. We like to do things wherever we are. So hopefully you're either joining us from Zoom or on Facebook. And we're going to be able to record this event. So if you have to pop out, that's okay. You'll be able to see this again later. But we're just going to share with you a little bit of why we are part of this community, why we want to be part of the Healthy Revolution, coming together to inspire other people to look toward the future and not have to wait for the future. We like to act right now and fully embrace what we're doing, where we're at in life, and share our experiences and we've overcome so that we can move forward and have positive goals now that will carry us towards our future. So sometimes people say that they want to wait till they retire or wait until I have more money. But the thing we're learning right now is why wait? Why not jump in right now and form a group of friends around you so that we can be active and live in the moment? So I want to introduce to you some of my friends tonight that are on this call with me. I'm just going to say their name, and they're going to do a little bit of an introduction of themselves, and then we are just going to start moving forward. This is going to be a half an hour call, so we're going to be moving pretty quickly, but if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat section at the bottom, and then whoever invited you to the call, you can talk to at the end, and we'd love to share more about this mission with you. So we're just going to start by talking with, let's just start with Jen tonight.
All right. Hey, guys. I'm Jen. I live in Ohio. I am married. I have a preschooler and a toddler. I am a former special education teacher, and now I am a group fitness instructor and a wellness coach from home.
Awesome. And Lauren?
I'm Lauren Guillen. I'm also married, no kids yet. My husband is originally from El Salvador, so we do a lot of nonprofit work still there. I also get to work with my mom and my brother in our wellness community, which we'll hear a little bit more about tonight. And I am 28 years old.
Christy? Nope.
Nope, can't hear you, Christy.
I have to come back to her. Christy? Chris, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Krista Hayes. My sister is Lauren, and I'm sure everybody knows Margie. Everybody gives me crap for not being married yet. Hopefully that'll be happening soon. But I'm a current flight paramedic with MedFlight and also a sales coordinator with Juice Plus. And I seldom stop in from time to time to work with them at the Mom's Wellness Center. And I'm 30 years old.
And Elizabeth, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Elizabeth, and I'm a stay-at-home mommy. I have two precious boys and a wonderful husband. I'm so blessed to be at home with them, and I'm just so grateful to be a part of the Juice Plus community. I am very passionate about health because of what I've been through and my own struggles, and this has been a wonderful catalyst for me and my entire family. So I've been really enjoying that a lot lately. And just loving the holidays and the time with my family and just making the most of every day.
Awesome. And Christy, do you have sound yet? She might not. We'll come back. And I'm Sarah, and I'm going to be your person tonight that's going to kind of carry us through this event. I am also single. I have several pets, and I work full-time and night shift at the hospital and critical care. And I'm also very passionate about just preventative health and coming together in the community and inspire other people, no matter, if they've come from a lot of illness or they're just healthy and wanting to have a new change. So we're going to just keep going with this panel. And then Christy, if you get a chance to jump in, and you can introduce yourself. But we're going to start tonight with Elizabeth.
Oh, we forgot Jessica,
Christy,
too.
are you there?
Jessica.
Oh, sorry. Jessica, go ahead.
Got so many of us on here tonight.
So can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm Jessica Heiser, and I currently live in Austin, Texas, and I'm a wife and mom and a fitness instructor at the local Y here, and I've taught fitness classes for almost 10 years now. It's crazy. And I've had this wellness journey for 6 years, so I'm excited to share with y'all.
Thank you, and thank you all for taking time out of your evening evening to be here. I am so glad that you're joining me in this, and I'm glad that we're online because it's really cold and snowing outside, and we don't have to go anywhere. We can do this from home. So I was excited that we chose this. So I'm going to start with Elizabeth. We're just going to tell a little bit about our stories and where we've come from, and I'm going to ask some questions and respond. So Elizabeth, you've had recent changes in your health and in your family's energy levels. Could you tell us a little bit about how the transformation happened and how you're doing with your health today?
Sure. Would you like a little background on my health journey? Okay. I'll just sum it up. But I went undiagnosed for over 10 years with celiac disease and had a lot of different sufferings from that, but did not know. And that caused a severely damaged and leaky gut and candida issues. And I developed an additional 23 food allergies, along with thyroid issues and some autoimmune struggles. So I had recently, before I heard about Juice Plus, I had mended my gut and my candida issues, but had just had my second hair analysis done, which revealed I had a lot of nutrient deficiencies. And let me tell you, I was eating a lot of vegetables and fruits. I was juicing and I was doing everything I could. So I was really, really discouraged to find this. So when I heard about Juice Plus, it just made sense to me, and I was really, really excited about it. I started taking it when I was postpartum with this little handsome and I have a hard time postpartum. I'm sure a lot of people do. I lose a lot of hair, an alarming amount. So when I started taking Juice Plus, in less than a week, after about 6 days, my hair loss totally stopped. I actually thought, what's wrong? My hair's not falling out. And then I realized, oh my gosh. So that was the first thing I noticed, and the increased energy right away, which has been amazing because as cute as this little booger is, he really does not sleep well. So I get very little sleep since he's been born, but I feel great, and I feel like I'm thriving, and he's my second baby, so I know this is not typical, but I'm very, very grateful for that. I'm feeling good, and I can see that reflected in my husband as well. I feel like he is not getting run down so easily when he's just work. Things are very demanding. He's not getting as sick as often, and he just feels, it's like you can see that he feels more vibrant, and he just has that energy. So it's been wonderful. Sorry, that was a very long answer.
No, you're fine. That's awesome. And I didn't even know some of that about your story, but I also have a long history with celiac disease and autoimmune disorders. And that same thing happened for me once I changed my health and started feeding myself whole food nutrition. Within a month, all of the symptoms and the bloating and that hot poker pain all went away. I had been taking medications for the pain and migraines and just rebound pain. And I was on about 10 different medications, and within 6 months I was off of everything and thriving again. And that was a 16-year journey for me. So it's so exciting to see you and to have a baby and to see how well you're doing now. And it really gives me hope for people that are, walking the journey that we've been through, that we can be a voice to help them too. So Christy, if you can share a little bit about your family's health. I know that you have a really special story about your children's health as well. And if you'd like to share a little bit about that.
We can see you, but we can't hear you. Come back to her, I think is what she said.
Not a problem. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go on to Jess. Jess had a long disease process as well, where she was trying to find a lot of solutions and going from doctor to doctor. So I know how much of a struggle that can be. So Jess, can you go ahead and share a little bit more about your journey?
Yeah, so it's been about a 10-year journey now. So I had been passed around from specialist to specialist. I wasn't well, but none of them could figure out what was wrong with me. So celiac is a possibility. Never got a formal diagnosis, but I did go gluten-free, so that was helpful. But the last specialist I was seeing was an oncologist, and I was getting weekly blood draws at the time. And that's when I was introduced to Juice Plus, and it was a cancer survivor who I heard his story, and here I am, 29 years old, feeling like I'm going to die before I'm 30. I had 2 young kids, so I heard his story and was really inspired, and I knew that nutrition was the only thing that I myself had not dove into, and doctors surely weren't leading me that way. So I was seeing the oncologist, getting weekly blood draws. They took me off of all my vitamin supplements. So for a doctor to take you off vitamins, they can't be very good for you, right? And in my research since then, I have really found that to be true. So they took me off of that. And when I was introduced to Juice Plus, I was like, okay, I can add this. I don't need to tell them because it's just food. So I added that, and within weeks, my health completely transformed. And I knew at that time, like, I've got to get this in my body, and I've got to share this with other people. So 6 years now, and I do not see doctors, and I'm on 0 medications and take nothing besides my Juice Plus. So I'm so thankful.
Wow. That's so encouraging, because I know for me too, I love how this community comes together and provides more education and helps build up our inner look at ourselves and what we feel that we really should be doing with our health. And sometimes when the doctors say that we need to take more medications or they want us to try other things, when we follow our gut and we listen to other people's testimonies, it really encourages us to follow that path. So I'm so excited that you were able to find healing for you. And I know how, that just gives you so much more hope and encouragement for the future. So thank you for sharing that. Now,
Christy, we can hear you now.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay, they can hear me.
I was just going to ask you to share. You have a really special story about your children's health and what your family's been through on your health journey. Could you just tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, so I'll first talk about my kids, which led me to Juice Plus. And I have 3 boys, and 2 of them are special needs. So they have what is called epidermolysis bullosa, which is a very long word for a chronic skin disease that affects them internally and externally. So after exploring the Juice Plus for them first, that was the first need, I learned that I could also take it as well for my own needs, and I'll go into that later. But what we are seeing is incredible. So let me go back a little bit. The disease is very, it's horrific. Let's just say that. It's horrific. To give you an idea, their life expectancy, the heavy B, is in their mid-20s. So we just need anything to give them quality of life. And so when I found Juice Plus, I was so thrilled to see that exactly what we were seeing. So we're seeing healing from the inside out. They have wounds on their outside of their body that would take like 2 weeks to heal. We're seeing improvement within 5 days. It's incredible. And then it's like 3rd-degree wounds is what kind of wounds we're talking here, 3rd-degree burn wounds. My son recently just had an eye abrasion, and typically it would take like 4 days to heal, and it went down to 2 days, which that in itself is phenomenal, because by the 4th day with an eye abrasion and your child cannot open their eyes, you're about done. I mean, we're all done with each other. So to see that improvement within 2 days, I was like, yay, this is amazing. This is what we want. Thank you, Juice Plus. So that's just a little bit of the goodness that we're getting with Juice Plus. For myself, I had low energy, sluggish, occasionally sick, and when I'm down, the whole family's down. Mom's not, they rely on me so much, and I needed to be on my toes and be able to take care of them. So I'm already seeing improvement in my energy level. I've been very healthy. I sleep better. I mean, there's so many little things here and there. My gums are better. I'm just like, there's all these little perks that are showing up, and I'm like, yay, this is exciting. So like I said, the boys led us to Juice Plus, but the whole family gets to have the benefits of it, which is amazing. I'm also taking it to the EB doctors and telling them about all this goodness. They are excited that we're even opening our, lives to even try it. You know, with doctors, it may take a little bit longer to convince. So, you know, we just have to go through it ourselves and be on it with our journey and just see how it goes to spread the goodness with them. But I'm in the middle of that as well. And also the EB community through Facebook, you know, sharing it with other families that they just know it's out there, that there's something other than, you know, the medicines, and that don't necessarily, there is no cure for EB. So it doesn't necessarily always help, but there is something that can give them the quality of life. And that's exactly what we needed. So we are really, really excited about it.
That is so exciting. And I know what you mean. I love how you can be a resource now. I feel like if we can save one person from going through the struggle and the pain that we went through, and you as a mom, I can't even imagine just listening to your story. It just touches my heart so much on knowing the pain that they went through and things that we've all personally been through. It's just so encouraging to know that now you've got the confidence and the ability to share with other people and to spare one child from that pain. So thank you so much for sharing. And I'm so excited for your journey.
Yes.
So Lauren and Chris, both of you guys grew up taking Juice Plus. So how would you say that really impacted your health in college and as in your decision making as you are now adults? If you want to kind of split that up and answer.
Yeah, well, our mom made us take it because she was always looking for something. So we really didn't have a choice. But I think Chris and I would both agree, hindsight, you know, it's been 12 years since we've been taking it, and neither one of us ever planned to be off of it. I would say, you know, for the most part, our whole family, we really were pretty healthy. Chris and I are the oldest two. So we always got the best of moms by 3 and 4. They kind of slack off sometimes, or they just make their own choices. But I would say Chris and I have always been really healthy eaters just from the get-go. But, you know, we all have bodies, and they're going to get worn down, especially like you mentioned, you know, we were both really high level athletes. I was a Division I track and field athlete. And so just the pure nature of running is just constant repetitive motion over and over and over. And there's this like thought that if you exercise, you can eat anything you want. Well, you might burn off the calories, but the content of the food totally is either going to build your muscle up and your body up, or it's going to break it down. So I'm thankful from a younger age, our mom really instilled that in us, and I never had a single track injury during my whole entire career, which is pretty much unheard of. So for me, for sure, you know, it kept me healthy. I don't even want to think about what I would be if I was off of my Juice Plus. So I'm grateful our mom made us take it.
Yeah. Wow. That's awesome.
I think it's part of being an athlete. You spend the majority of your time actually traveling, and it's very hard to get a good meal in between, you know, meets or events. Mine would be, you know, long weekends and stuff. And even to convince the other guys to go get something healthy is even harder. So that kind of breakdown of, you know, your body and losing weight and stuff. Because I would start out at a season, I think my last season, I was like 190 pounds. And then by the end of the season, I was like 160, 165 pounds. So, and that's muscle loss. So, you know, you gain a little bit of, as an athlete, you really want to kind of have like a 6% body fat, 6 to 8. And I was like below that. So I think Juice Plus kept me from going even further. But, you know, just knowing that I had that added support, at least I was getting nutrients and I was able to sustain was you know, a huge thing for me. And being an athlete, you also have to really worry about, you know, what you're taking. At first, I was a little hesitant with my mom about taking Juice Plus because I've had a personal trainer since, you know, around the age of 12, and they push supplement after supplement after supplement. And you just get tired of hearing it. But that was something when she showed me the research, and I'm a big nerd, and I actually read it, not just the abstract, but the actual research. I don't understand half of it, but just knowing that, that's when I really bought into it, because I could actually see it on a, you know, I know everybody's heard this double-blind placebo tested, but that's something, you know, in the medical field that's the gold standard for us. And I don't listen to arguments if, oh, I pulled this off of blind, or I heard this. It's like, that's the first question I asked. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I was a bio major in college. And so like knowing what actual research is, like this is legit. These little fruits and vegetables that are in a capsule or this, complete powder that's all plant-based. Like, it's not just, there's testimony after testimony, everyone's hearing tonight, but like, as both of us were science majors in college, so we've actually seen, we know what real lab work looks like and what the whole standard is. And yeah, it's totally legit.
That is awesome. And I know for me, I'm also a medical professional and I work night shift in the hospital, and some of the healthcare workers are the most unhealthy out there because we're so used to being, taking everything that we have and pouring into other people and taking care of other people that we don't take care of ourselves, and our shifts and our sleep habits are so all over the map that we forget to take care of ourselves. And I knew that there was research behind it, and I'm glad that I did, because when I wanted to, put up a fight about it or say that I was too busy, I knew that what was good for me because of the research. And it definitely completely transformed my working night shift and being able to bounce back from that and really, just keep going every single day. And I haven't been sick really in 5 years. And I just keep fueling my body with this good macronutrition and phytonutrients. So,
Is it my turn, Sarah? You
Yes.
froze, so I didn't hear you. Yeah, sorry. So my story started my health journey started about 9 years ago. My feet were purple for 3 years. And kind of like the same as Jess, it's like you're going to doctor after doctor and getting all these tests ran, and all these doctors wanted to prescribe me medications or run all these tests, and no doctor was finding out any information, and their advice was to me was to get off my feet. Well, I was a special education teacher, full-time kindergarten, so I'm like chasing after my kids, going to pick up my kids. I can't just prop my feet up. So I went to 9 different doctors, and the 10th doctor shared with me about how I could take fruits and vegetables in a capsule, and that my husband, who was in his undergraduate program, could get them for free. And so he was in school. I was working, living off of a teacher's salary for the two of us. So when he said that I could get 20 to 30 fruits and vegetables for the price of one, but for 2 people, I signed up. And within a couple months, my feet were normal. They were no longer purple. They were no longer numb. And that was 8 years ago. And so 8 years into it, I'm not kidding. If I forget to take my Juice Plus for a couple of days, I immediately notice my toes starting to get tingly. And I'm like, I gotta take more Juice Plus, because my body was just, and still is, very deficient of a lot of nutrients that my body needs. And for me, I was always an athlete. I was always exercising, but the nutrition piece was just something that I was lacking. And now, fast forward 8 years, my kids have grown up with Juice Plus. I ate Juice Plus all throughout all of our pregnancies. And one question that people always ask me is that, will these fruits and vegetables in a capsule, which is what our son says, help with my child's constipation? And the answer is yes. And just a really quick funny story is that when my son was learning to poop on the potty, now remember, I have a preschooler and a toddler, so potty words are something that we talk about a lot. So sorry in advance. However, but when Everett was learning to go poop on the potty, my dad paid him $0.25 every time he pooped. And I'm not kidding. This kid earned $16.50 in 1 month. That just shows you how regular our kids are with just fruits and vegetables in a capsule. Granted, they still eat their fruits and vegetables, but if your kids are constipated, feed them more fruits and vegetables.
I love that, because so many people think that is just a normal part of having kids, that they should have to give them laxatives or give them medications, and that you don't have to if you're feeding them really good nutrition. And it can be so simple when we bridge that gap with Juice Plus, because it can be coming in gummies and kids can get it free. Such an awesome way for your whole family to be on this health journey together. And that's another thing I love about this. I've heard everyone talk a little bit about having kids or, you know, being a medical professional, but we all want to reach out and help other people on this journey. So all of us have made that decision to say yes to that opportunity where we've been able to help pay for our product, continue to give our kids, you know, free product and share with other people while we're working with some of our best friends and being completely surrounded by all of this positive energy and encouragement. And it's so much fun. So Jen, can you tell us a little bit more about what made you say yes and how you feel about the business being part of your life with having kids?
Yeah, so having two toddlers is very challenging for me. And so when I didn't know you could be a part of the business, so I had actually been taking Juice Plus for 3 years, both my husband and I. And so when someone called me to get my updated credit card information for my order, they had asked me, you know, have you ever thought about sharing this with other people and getting paid for it? And I said, well, what? I've already been sharing it with my parents and my friends, and my parents were already taking it. I didn't know I could get income off of that. And so that day I signed up, and that was over 5 years ago. And so for me, I was able to say not right now to teaching. Our son was 2.5 months. He said yes to the business. And so I got to say no, not right now to teaching. And so our kids get to see me working my job, but it's fun because they get to see me a part of a community. And that was a big piece for me, is that I went from teaching full time and not really knowing what my identity would look like outside of teaching, and just having this community, seeing that my kids get to see me work and provide an income for our family too. My husband works full time and part time, and he's a doctoral student. And so for me, being able to provide income for our family is huge, and it covers the cost of all of our Juice Plus because we all take everything. And then it allows me to say yes to teaching at the Y, because it's not just about fueling our body with nutrients, but it's also getting our bodies moving. And so it kind of just goes hand in hand. It's not just, to me, it's not just, and to all of us, it's not just about selling a product and getting people to take Juice Plus, but it's really getting people to think about wellness and loving our bodies and changing our health legacy. Because both my husband and I have a lot of cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and we don't want those things passed on. And we know, Chris talked about research, and the research just shows over and over again that DNA receptors can be turned on and off. And so we talked about it a couple of years ago, and we were like, is Juice Plus something that still works in our budget? And we looked at each other and we were like, absolutely, this is something we couldn't afford to take out of our budget, because if you look over the past couple of years, 5 years of our health, there's not much in our medical bills. So at this point, we believe that over a lifetime, you're going to pay for wellness or sickness. We're going to pay more for one or the other, and that we want to pay for wellness so that we don't have to pay for our sickness. So it's just a really cool place. And, Jess has been one of my closest friends, and she lives in Austin, and I get to still see her on things like this.
Yeah, that is so cool. And Jess, I know that you do a lot of classes at the Y too. Do you want to share a little bit about how you share your passion for wellness and helping other people choose to take one step at a time towards their active living?
Yeah, so I feel so lucky and blessed to be able to have such a free schedule to teach these classes and be able to show people. And I love, I'll just give you an example. Just today, after class, I had a gentleman come up to me and ask me about a specific diet program that seems to be pretty popular right now. And I love that they come to me for that information. It makes me just feel really good that they trust me, and that they just look to me and know as a wellness professional. And as far as I always tell people, do what you love to do. Don't, and you know, even in my class, I tell new people when they come to class, and it might not be what they love, but some stick around because they love me, which I love. But other times, you know, when people say it's not for me, and I'm like, that's okay. Just find something that you love to do. But I always try to tie in that nutrition piece too, because like Jen said, it's not just one or the other. There's so many key elements to overall wellness. And I just try to help people, you know, realize that and give them all the focus that they need.
And I love that. And again, I love how we can just be resources in the community or wherever we are. We carry this with us, and it helps us just to love on other people. So Chris, I was going to ask you about that. You do a phenomenal job about helping educate in the community, and you were just able to say yes to your dream career. Can you share a little bit about how it all ties together for you?
From the business perspective, it was really nice. And just a quick story, I know we're kind of going long, but over the past 3 years, I've been gearing up to become a flight medic, and I've transitioned 3 different jobs. And that's probably been the biggest struggle, apart from not being able to see my family, friends, and girlfriend as much, and, you know, working like 130 plus hours a week. You know, with those time in between jobs, you know, I was supplemented with Juice Plus, not only from the nutrition standpoint, but financially. And, you know, not having income for 2 months, and, you know, that's a big deal. So even, you know, I think around that time I was making, you know, anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a month with Juice Plus. That was enough to keep me, you know, out of debt, or further creating debt. I have a lot of school debt, but keep going in, and I was able to pay my bills and eat and continue with that. And, you know, it's been a blessing, you know, from that time. And I look back now, and it's all kind of hit me now, you know, how much this company, not only just financially and in the nutrition standpoint, but the people that I've had in Juice Plus. Because I intermittently come in and out of the Juice Plus world, and, you know, I'm focusing on my, you know, my passion, my career, but I also have the passion with Juice Plus. But I'm still welcomed with open arms. It's not like, where you been, Chris? You know, you said you were going to do this. But so it's constantly reestablishing those goals with my uplines. And I know my mom's probably gotten a little frustrated with me from time to time, but, you know, she's just still subtle reminders, you know, that the business is still here for you. And, you know, I definitely see this as, you know, my retirement job. You know, the career that I have, being a flight paramedic, is not long lived. It's very hard on your body, but I definitely see myself with Juice Plus after I'm done. And that's very reassuring for me, you know, because there's really not a whole lot of skill set for a paramedic. You typically come out with a certificate after your education is done. But I got my associate. So I have a little bit, but there's really not much you can do. You can't really teach a whole lot. They're very hard to get those positions. So after we're done, you know, it's kind of like, what do I do now? You know, I spent my whole entire life, you know, being a public servant, and now I really have no skill set in the real world. So it's very reassuring that I can still have a business and have some kind of retirement plan. And I don't plan on my retirement plans with the, you know, 401ks and stuff and Social Security. I don't. This is my, you know, my fall safe. So.
Yeah, and I'll piggyback off you, Chris. A lot of things I heard you talk about, you know, you could kind of pick up your business when you chose to, and I definitely have seen that through my journey. Being a college athlete, I couldn't have a job; that was my job. So this is great, just to fit it in to my lifestyle, however much or as little as I could. You know, obviously you're gonna reap what you sow, right? But that was just great, and that's the one thing I love about just this awesome community, is that I get to design the way I want to. I have people that are cheering me on, are going to help me get to whatever goals that I want. They might be big, they might be small, but the flexibility, that is huge for me. Just being in the nonprofit world, that is my purpose and passion, but this just blends so organically together. And that's one thing I've not found with anything else, is to have the flexibility to be my own boss, to decide how much or how little I want to do. And honestly, see my brother, Chris, what he was making, I was really competitive. I said, okay, if he can make that, then I need to step up my button gear and to be doing that too. So that's just, yeah, kind of cool. always some good friendly competition because in the end we all win, right? You know, you're sharing hope to people. As I listed all these stories, you know, it's hope in a capsule of just, you know, what God put on this earth, and that's good nutrition.
I completely agree with that. And I love how we've talked a little bit about our retirement plan and what our future is going to look like, and being able to come in and out of the business wherever we are. If life changes and life stages happen, you don't have to feel ashamed or feel guilty that we have to step away for a minute. We're still going to have our business, and a lot of times our customers are so loyal, they will keep coming back to us, and they want to help support us in our lives too. And we have such an awesome group of accountability and just friends that we build each other up at all times. So I know we're at the end of time. So I just want to ask Elizabeth, if you can share a little bit about living in the moment right now and how this opportunity is helping you to really focus and just be real with yourself, and how you can encourage other people, other new moms, other people that are in busy lives, how this can really be an answer for them.
I have enjoyed this so much. I have never felt like anything I've done with Juice Plus has been work, because it has been such a passion of mine, but also it's just so moldable to your life. I mean, I'm at home with 2 boys and I'm busy. They're a baby and a 3-year-old, and I'm bouncing all over from preschool and wherever, but I work it into my schedule. I have a whole team that just wants to help me. It's just so easy to share. And there's just so much suffering in our world. There's so many health conditions. You don't have to go, look, where do I just tell? It's the person next to you. And it's humbling because I get to share the good news about Juice Plus. And it's not rocket science. So everyone gets that we need our fruits and our vegetables, and we're not getting enough. So it's awesome. It's been humbling and really fun for me as a mom to have something that I get to do on my own that isn't just about my boys. So it's just been really fun, and I'm very grateful to have the opportunity. But I also feel responsibility, because this really is a powerhouse of nutrition and can help. I mean, there's just no disease and no ailment that good nutrition isn't going to help. So I feel that obligation to share, but I do it with love, and people want to know. And I wish that someone would have told me about it sooner. So it's been really cool to be on this end of it. And it's just been a lot of fun.
Thank you. And I completely agree. I think all of us would say that it's so much more than fruits and veggies in a capsule. And it's so much more than just saying yes to, $50 a year is what it is for the membership to be a rep. But you get a lifetime of knowledge, you get empowered, and we get to have the confidence that we can share and make a difference in somebody else's life. And someone shared with me, and out of the goodness of her heart, and I want to be that blessing for someone else and just let people know we're a resource. So thank you so much for everybody joining us tonight, and thank you for the panel for sharing from your heart. It's been so much fun to work alongside you guys and learn about you. And hopefully if anybody has more questions, you can put messages in the chat, or you can talk to anybody who invited you. We hope that you'll join us, and we hope that you'll be able to take a little bit of this information, share it with someone else too, so that they know that there is hope out there and there's an answer. So thank you guys. Have a good night. And